Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Tom, carry on because
Whatever you want to say, whatever you want it to be, whenever you're watching it.
I need to tighten my headphones up. They all got tangled up, so I couldn't do it.
Always organised here on the Third and Long podcast. OBH, it's all right. That gives me time to share it.
Well,
it's not been shared.
Yeah, I know. Well, you said, "Are you ready?" And I go, "No," and then you kind of clicked go. I was like, "Oh, okay, we're going. All right then." There you
go. Is that you? Right, do you want me to share it or do you want to share it? I mean, everyone's listening to this now.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Professional.
Yeah, it's awesome. This is. I'm trying to share it now as we speak.
Right, I'll let you touch it. I'll let you do that bit.
I'm not touching anything, man. That's all down to you to touch. I'm having so much issues. Tom, I'm really disappointed though, man.
Why?
You've got no black eyes.
I know, but
what's going on, man?
First round TKO. You know, I got in there. I would show you the medal, but it's in my coat pocket, and I really can't be asked going.
Fair enough.
It's in the other room. But on a very cold, stormy night in Bowlers Exhibition Centre in Manchester, I got stopped in the first round, TKO, very early on. But hey, I raised over 300 quid for charity. Christie Hospital in Manchester. They do great work. And yeah, I don't think my partner loved it. She was very anxious for the whole evening. One guy broke his ankle.
Hang on, when you
he went forward to avoid a punch and went over on his ankle.
Wow, I suppose
and they had to
stop. Paid, didn't it?
Unfortunately, it went as a no contest.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to take my hoodie off and sweat my balls off.
So far, Ollie is... My Mr. Hope is in America right now. Or is he flying back?
No, he's back on Thursday. He comes back Wednesday, isn't he? So I'll be wondering if he's watching, actually. It'd be interesting if he is watching.
Mr. Hope, are you watching? If so,
please comment if you are. And if you're why aren't you joining us?
No, he's got the Notre Dame game on Saturday, didn't he?
Yeah, I couldn't remember where he was or what he was watching or where he was watching.
But he was in the Niners stadium last night.
Yeah, he sent some wonderful videos.
To watch their running game absolutely destroy my Vikings.
We'll talk about that in a bit, yeah.
We will discuss that in a bit because there's other stuff that's happened in that game as well. 2 big injuries this week as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'll cover the majority of the stuff on Thursday. I can't even remember what day it is, man. It's
and bad. I am back.
I know, it's a rarity. I was starting to forget what you look like, man.
All right, I'm duck and a dive, you know.
You were meant to.
I don't know who liked us. I think that might be Ollie. No, hello, Emma Collins. Thank you for watching us.
Yeah. I was expecting you to come back looking like Rocky. I won't lie. After his Rocky 4, was it when he fought the Russian?
Unfortunately, I didn't make the Rocky style comeback, which I'm a bit gutted about. You know, taking.
Yeah, I don't think your missus would be happy if you shouted Adrian as well.
No. Hey, Leona, we did it.
Shall we start with the games, man? Shall we start with Thanksgiving? Shall we start with Thanksgiving game? Shall we?
Happy Thanksgiving for everyone. To everyone who is watching from the States.
It is a bit belated.
Or expats. Very belated. But, you know, Thanksgiving games, they're a different standard, aren't they? They're just different class.
Different standard as in poor?
I mean, we did have the Lions versus the Bears.
Yeah, that was... I mean, I won't lie, I'm kind of glad I coached Thursday evenings because I didn't have to I'd have to deal with the torment of that. That was a bad game. I think there was only one good pass, and that was from Jared Goff to the wide receiver. Apart from that, there was nothing really else. I mean, they were trying to throw double flags, weren't they?
I do feel for the couple of Detroit Lions fans in the UK.
There is a couple.
There is
not many, but there's a couple.
We saw them apparently. They were. I mean, it must be for a dare or something like that. But yeah,
But
yeah,
worse, they could be wearing a Vikings jersey.
Yeah, they just can't get it going, can they?
No, I mean, Jared Goff, he's in a no-win situation, isn't he? Really? I mean, if he has a poor season, it's his fault. If he has a good season, it's because he got lucky there. It's just crap. To be fair, I mean, but Chicago Bears look so much better with Andy Dalton at the helm than they do Fields.
Yeah, I mean, Dalton's a seasoned.
It's seasoned pro. It's what you're going to
get
week in, week out.
I mean, Fields, I actually think he looks exciting when he does play, but he's just not there yet, is he? I mean, I can see why the Bears organization are excited by him. I can see why they see him as one for the future. But I think that is it. He is definitely one for the future. Not right now.
He needs to sit behind Dalton for a season, not thrown literally into the lion's den. Well, lion's den with filed teeth, I think it is, and claws at the moment. Yeah. That was no pun intended. That was just literally as I went along. I mean, Andy Dalton, he proved all right. He was 24 from 39, 317 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. We've all seen the play where literally the Lions guy was literally dragging onto Montgomery's shirt. I think that's the longest shirt that we've ever seen. It was a good 10 yards, wasn't it? Nearly, at least.
It was a good.
It was a full on 10 yards. It was.
Yeah. There was no doubt in that holding call or that.
He tried.
Where he got to.
Come back.
Exactly. I mean, I'm surprised no one's put the Titanic theme tune to it yet.
I've heard a few of the rows calling to the rescue boats. With literally, come back. That was so I've heard that one. I want to talk about some very dodgy refereeing in the overzealous flag throwing in the Dallas Vegas game. 28 penalties. 28 penalties.
I mean, I'm not one for having to go at officials because obviously,
you are one.
I am one, and maybe not for American football, but I don't like having to go at any officials. But I don't know if it's just me. The standard of officiating this year in
Please get me charger.
in the NFL has been very, very poor. I wouldn't say even poor. It's just inconsistent.
Yeah, sorry, I just realised my laptop's pinging at me saying, "Oh, no battery." Is what happens. What you get when you let your son watch YouTube, and it's like, oh, it's now got no battery. Yeah, I mean, some of those calls can't even get in the hole. Some of those calls are absolutely shocking. I mean, there was a couple of pass interferences which shouldn't have been passed. There was a couple of holding calls that were. It's like, how can you call that as a holding? There was. But like you said, it's been poor all season.
And the commentators are picking up on it now as well.
Yeah. I mean, and not only that, there was the play that was a brilliant defensive play in the first half, yet McCarthy didn't challenge it.
Yeah.
That's why it was brilliant. I've tried to send you the video to load up onto the podcast, but for some reason it won't send you, which is really annoying. Brilliant bit of play to keep the ball in play, and they made another 5 yards on the return, and yet he didn't throw the flag. So he lost 50 yards because I think they punted off that, didn't they?
Yeah.
So he lost 50 yards. those 50 yards, or they could have run that in for a touchdown and would have won the game. It wouldn't have gone to overtime.
What do coaches put off now
They shouldn't be.
by not wanting to challenge or not seeing the point in challenging officials' calls?
They've got people up in the boxes, coaches boxing. You going? You got to challenge that. You got to challenge that. You've seen it all over the league. They do it every season. But yeah, there is a lot less challenge flags this year. Apart from like the Tennessee's literally hedge coach. I think he threw that flag about 50 yards. But we'll cross that line in a minute. Blatant challenge play. But
we saw it in London, didn't we? The Finn's head coach, he was thinking about it. He had the red flag there. And I had a Finns fan sat behind me going, throw it. Just throw it. Throw the flag. Throw the flag. And he didn't in the end. And I genuinely, it was one of those where the whole stadium were like, yeah, that he could have got away with it. But, I'm seeing a reluctancy to challenge plays at the moment.
What a kickoff return by Tony Pollard.
Yes.
100 yards. It's so they broke it down. I can't remember what show it was now, how he set it up to go left. No, go right. And then cut back to go left. So the all plays were going that way, and he goes, yeah, I'm going to go that way, and literally tiptoed down the sideline. That was brilliant. The best thing was the official falling over the Pollard, the pylon. That was brilliant. I don't know if everyone noticed that. That was absolutely superb. I mean, it said something that apart from that, the biggest play was a 56-yard DPI on Jackson. That was the biggest play of the game. I mean, Dak Prescott went for 375 yards. Derek Carr also went for 373 yards. They never really. Dak had 2 touchdowns. Carr had 1. There wasn't much difference between the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I think it was a case of when you lose CeeDee Lamb, when you've lost Amari Cooper. Elliott wasn't quite out there today. I think he's still nursing a bit of an ankle injury, so they're playing him through that. He was questionable all week. So when you lose 2 of your main targets and your star player isn't on fire on all cylinders, it is going to be an issue. But we'll see on that one.
It's a tough one. When you lose your star players, you're going to struggle, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, they've got Zeke, who's having a great season. Yeah, they've got Dak, who's having a good season as well. But take away 2 of his big targets. They were always going to struggle, weren't they? I mean, it was good for the Raiders. Big result for the Raiders, I think.
It was a needed result. I mean, they've had a bad 2 or 3 weeks.
John will be happy.
John will be happy. I'm surprised he's not commented yet. We're talking about him commenting. John, you're quiet. Where are you, man? He'll probably comment with me offline. But yeah, I mean, Raiders need that more than anything else. I mean, obviously with the Ruggs issue, the Gruden issue. It's going to be. Yeah. Almost as much problem as New Orleans are having at the moment. I mean,
they are struggling without Mr. Breeze.
But I think they've been all right with Winston at the helm. But the fact that they've lost, obviously, their Hall of Famer, and now they've lost their starting QB, and we've heard Ollie says he's not the highest fan on Trevor Siemian. Yeah, it doesn't look good for them. I mean,
Buffalo are an elite team. I would normally pick Buffalo anyway over New Orleans, but
I didn't know when Saints
to get bumped like that.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's another ACL for the cornerback. Can't remember his name. Trey Williams, I think it is.
Yeah.
He's out for the season. That's a big blow for them, but we'll cover that one on on Thursday night. I mean, Saints just were. I thought being back in the Superdome, being on Thanksgiving, they would have been right up for that. The fans would have been, giving them like that 12th player on the field, and they didn't show up. It didn't take them to the last quarter to score any points, and then the game's over.
Yeah.
As it's called, it's garbage time.
It's a tough one. Saints. It'll be interesting to see what we do in the draft and in the off season, because I think there's a lot of big decisions they need to make.
Mm-hmm.
What they actually need, what they actually want to get out of the organization, out of the draft. There are a good few there's a good couple of quarterbacks in the draft this year.
Yeah, but it's not this year's class. There's probably one or two. I don't think they need a quarterback. There's a lot of other holes in that thing. I mean, obviously they've lost. They're going to lose Michael Thomas. I think he'll go in the summer or in the off season. There's a couple of, they need a backup for Alvin Kamara. They didn't have him, and it showed.
I mean, big shout out to Kamara, by the way.
Oh yeah,
what a guy!
100 people's groceries on either Thanksgiving he paid for.
And he was loving it. He was absolutely loving it. He was like, yeah. You come here. Come on. I'll bag it.
You've got to love it, haven't you? It's fair play. It's fair play to the bloke. It's absolutely brilliant.
Especially as the NFL players have taken a bit of a hit this year.
Oh god, yeah. But there's there's a lot of nice guys out there. I mean, look what JJ Watt done. He did a load of things back in his hometown where he was from, so he's done a load of things. It's just the ones that haven't had the proper looking after the proper upbringing, the support network when they were younger. They're the ones that have the struggle, I think. But that's not excusing any for them.
No.
Sunday's early games. Yep, there it goes.
I mean, it was quite a good. I enjoyed this Thanksgiving weekend. I thought there was some really good games.
There were some very, very close games. I mean, Tampa was one of them. Probably the two garbage teams are probably fighting out for second and third pick. They were a good game. Tennessee, Carolina and New England weren't too bad. And then you got Freddie's favorite team getting absolutely trounced. I mean, we'll start at Tampa.
Start with the Tennessee New England game.
Yeah, go on then.
I'll let you take the lead. I thought Mac was very impressive again.
One bad throw, which was when he overhit Hunter Henry 3 in the end zone. But yeah, Mac is looking like Mac. There's a lot of comments of us looking like the 2001 Patriots.
That's what was brought up on Fox. They are looking. I mean, they started slow-ish.
I mean, you're finding out your opposition. You don't know a lot about the opposition.
You don't know about your new quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Tannehill lost. He's lost both his main weapon in Derrick Henry, his two main targets. They let go Peterson, so it's like, what the heck are they doing? They're starting practice squad players, which isn't their fault. It's the way it is. I think I saw a stat. They've played 84 players this season. It's mad. I know there's a big roster, but flipping out, that is mad. But yeah, it's just domination and New England roll on. Did you see Carl Brandt on Good Morning Football today?
No.
It was very marked up. I saw it I had it. One of the guys on the Patriots group chat put it on there, and it's off Twitter, and it's like very much. He had the Death Star, the Darth Vader march and all that, and it's like the Empire is striking back kind of thing. It's like, you've got your new master and your new Anakin, and it's scary. I mean, Kendrick Bourne is turning out to be a baller.
He's having a great season. He's having a great year.
He started off a bit slowly, and then he had that touchdown against. Trying to go back now against Cleveland, I think it was, and he's kicked on, and he looks absolutely brilliant.
Max having a slotted in to be.
I mean, we've all seen the meme of the 5 dragons with Mac, the sensible one, like that, and then you got the 4 droopy ones either side of him. Yeah, he is the quarterback ready the franchise ready quarterback. He doesn't need to learn, but he is learning at the same time. He is learning off the GOAT of coaches.
Yeah.
It just looks, apart from the one throw, well, probably a couple of throws. I mean, his stats are brilliant. Again, he went
even though the most
yards.
elite quarterbacks make poor throws. Look at Brady.
I would say look at Cam Newton, but hey, we'll talk about that in a minute. I mean, Mac Jones, 23 from 32 attempts, 310 yards. And what surprised me the most, they weren't overly heavily on the rushing. Stevenson only rushed for 46, Harris rushed for 40. Mac had 11, rush for 11, John 8. There wasn't much more rushing than that. There was a very pass-oriented game, which is surprising. I didn't think that. I mean, there was a couple of plays with Tennessee outplayed us the running touchdown just for half time. That's a bit worrying. What technically is a practice squad player just literally burst through a hole and he's gone. That was a bit worrying. But you're going to get plays like that. I mean, we move up to number 2. AFC will be looking over their shoulders with a lot of panic and a lot of fear in their shorts. Carolina, poor Cam Newton. He's not having it, is he?
No,
I think he needs to retire with dignity. With having some credit. I mean, he's an MVP player, but he's not playing an MVP caliber. I mean, he was 5-21 for 70 odd yards. Yes, he rushed in a touchdown, but that's Cam Newton. He's always going to do that. But the Dolphins are on a roll. They're starting to look a bit good now.
They really are.
5 on the bounce now.
I mean, we weren't impressed by him in London. We all said that there was a lot of problems in that team.
Yes.
And, it's hard, isn't it? Because London is a difficult place to come anyway.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you've got a young quarterback, you've got a young, you've got probably one of the most exciting receivers to come out of that class in Jalen Waddle. He was superb again. 136 yards, 2 touchdowns with a little Waddle celebration, which is quite cool. It's better than that dance that they all seem to be doing at the moment with the legs and the.
Well, it was Jefferson who created that,
and everyone seems to. I saw Debo.
Everyone has seen. I noticed Mitchell from the 49ers copied it. I mean, I know he wants to copy greatness, but
I saw something today. So Eagles passed on DK Metcalf, and they passed on Jefferson.
I know.
How
let that sink in.
Now, Eagles fans, if you're watching, let us know, how livid are you feeling on that one?
I remember that draft, and it was a weird draft, wasn't it? Let's face it, it was such a weird draft. But you got, as the night got on, and Jefferson fell further and further and further. And, you could see the Vikes organization, their eyes were getting more and more excited because...
What did you pick him at? 20, wasn't it? Is it 20 or 21? Can't remember now.
Something like that, because we did a trade with 49ers.
I wonder how Ollie feels about that now.
But they were never going after a wide receiver, I don't think, in that draft. But you just saw Jefferson drop and drop and drop and drop, and you saw even the pundits were like, "Why is he how is he still on the board?" And when he got picked, I thought, "Ooh!" And then I'd heard, obviously he'd got the buzz around Jefferson, Burrows, Jefferson, Chase.
Yeah.
And I watched more and more highlights of him. And the more I watched, the more excited I got, because he is a genuine Hall of Fame talent.
I think it's a bit early to say that. He is going to have a hell of a career. He's going to have a Randy Moss style career.
Exactly.
Should we get back to the Miami?
Yes.
Miami's defense is looking good. They're looking scary. They've got a superstar in Jalen Waddle, an absolute superstar in Jalen Waddle. When they come to us at week 18, I think we will find a way to shut them out. No, when we go to them in week 18, it's a little chart. It's no longer there now. It's there.
Oh no!
I'm not turning around. You can't see the sunroof from my head anymore.
Gone.
It's in front of me now. I was advised to move it, so I moved it.
He advised you that?
Several people. Yeah, so I mean, Miami.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit worried if it could come down to us against Bill on week 18. I mean, the Bills have got Jets and us have got Miami.
I mean,
that's going to be a bit scary.
Looking at the standings, I mean, they are still just behind. They're just behind Cleveland in the fight. Pittsburgh are.
They're not out of the playoffs.
They're not
really not out of the playoffs.
No,
at all. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, they've got a bye this week. No, they haven't. They've got a bye next week, the same week as us. They got New York, Giants, Jets, Saints, Tennessee, then us. It'll probably come down to their last 2 games. I could see them winning another 3.
It's not. They've got a winnable, doable running.
They've got a softer.
Yeah, and if I was looking at the Miami team as a coach, facing them or just in front of them in the playoff race, I'd be a little bit. I'd be like, this is going to be a bit dangerous because everyone's underestimated them, and me included.
Oh yes. On to Atlanta. Probably the worst game of the day. Well, no, probably the second worst game of the day. I'm going to say, apart from a bit of Kyle Pitts magic. A one-handed catch where he dragged it in. Literally a blink of an eye. It was so quick and it was a brilliant bit of skill. A little bit behind him, in between 2 defenders. It was a brilliant bit of play. It shows now that teams are now double teaming Pitts, and he's only been in week 13, week 12, and he's already getting double teamed by players.
I mean, we saw it, didn't we? I raved about him after London.
I missed his great play.
he's truly a generational talent.
He is.
I think the hype
Kelsey,
is real.
Gronk,
yeah,
Andrews, and all that Kittle, all that lot molded into one, with the speed of a wide receiver, with the skills of a wide receiver.
Yeah,
it's absolutely.
I mean, he was running wide receiver routes, wasn't he?
He has done all the time.
They
mark him out. They put him out wide. They put him in the slot. They put him in trips. Next thing they're going to run a Cordell Patterson route with him in the backfield. I think I could see that. Cordell Patterson was superb again, wasn't he? Absolutely superb. He's been an absolute steal. He keeps me in most of my fantasy leagues. Most weeks. Another 108 yards rushing, 27 in the air, a couple of touchdowns. He scored 23 points on my fantasy team. Yeah. I think I might be keeping him next year for my keeper league.
Yes.
And I've got Jalen Waddle as well, so I might be keeping them.
Yeah.
I didn't see much of this game, I won't be honest. I saw the touchdowns. I don't know what to make of Jacksonville.
I feel sorry for them. I really do, because they've got the QB. I like Lawrence. He was.
Oh, he's probably. He was in a never win situation, was he? He was always going to lose that one. Was never going to favour him there. It is a massive building project. Whether they're going to get into a winning franchise or winning season by the time his rookie deal's up, because there's a lot of holes in that thing. Even though they drafted well, they had picked they picked some really good free agents there. They traded well as well, but there's still a lot of holes. There's need a lot of work on that O line. He needs some more weapons.
They're going to be in the top 5 picks.
Oh, they'll be in the top 3 or 4 easily. I mean,
Yeah.
they're one of the worst records in the league at the moment. They're 2
2
and 7,
and
2 and
2
9.
and 9.
So
So
yeah, I mean, I don't think the antics of the head coach has helped. He, as Ollie suggests, he blatantly wants to go LSU, and it does show. But they got a good kicker. I like Matt Wright. I think he's going to be a very good kicker in this league.
yeah, he had a good game in London.
Yeah, one thing going to go back to New England. Randy Bullock missed. Randy Bullock, sorry, not Bullock. He missed. He hit
this. Watching this, probably thinking, "Oh my god, what have I left?"
What have I left? Yeah. So, did you hear the posts at New England? That noise they made. It was like a cannon going off. I thought it was Tampa just got a touchdown. Seriously, it was loud. I was like, wow. I so wish Freddie was coming on these lines so we can talk about this one, because Pittsburgh got absolutely mauled by a Bengal, or several of them. Joe Mixon.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Mixon is making a run for MVP.
Yeah. He
was absolutely superb again. He ran... No, wrong button. He ran 165 yards, 2 touchdowns. T. Higgins had a great game as well. He was 116 yards for a touchdown. Joe Mixon he went backwards on a couple of catches, so we'll ignore that one. But the 168 rushing yards, and the one where he stole an interception.
Yeah. So
Joe Burrow threw it into the slot. No, it wasn't. It was into the screen pass, wasn't it? And I think as the linebacker was juggling, Joe Mixon would go, "Nope, I'll have that. Thank you very much," and saved. Okay, he's lost a couple of yardage because of it, but he still saved a turnover, which is probably more important than losing the 2 yards. That is unselfish play. Bengals are starting to look a bit better now. Pittsburgh, I think it is the Ben Roethlisberger's retirement show. Tour. I think he is starting to walk away.
Yeah.
Probably his best game that he's had in a while. But he doesn't look fully there. He doesn't look at the show at all, if I'm honest.
No.
And when you've got all these young whippersnappers coming at him, Burrows, who else is in that division, Lamar Jackson. I would say Baker, but he's been absolutely shocking this season. So much.
It's been an interesting year at Pittsburgh. I think, again, everyone sort of realizes Ben's not got it anymore.
Yeah, he's not the Big Ben for 2 or 3 years ago, which literally would take 4 or 5 players to bring him down.
Yeah, exactly. And
which
now
is obvious. It's age is what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not there, was he? 39.
I can see that being one of our tribute shows in the off season.
I could probably see it as well. I could see there's be a few there that could probably step away, I think.
Yeah. With pride.
A few. I mean, Big Ben's had a great career. But I think he's dragged on.
It's just a shame that he hasn't sort of gone out in the way. Last year he'd got them to the playoffs, didn't he?
Yeah, no, they went 11-0. They lost every single game since.
I know. But it's just a shame that he's going to be sort of. This will be his last season.
Yeah, it's good. They bought him back on 10 million or something like that, wasn't it? But
yeah,
Mason Rudolph doesn't look that good.
No,
they are going to be after a quarterback. I think Cincinnati or Cincinnati College quarterback Riddler is probably going to be the one for them. I think.
Yeah.
There you go, John. You've just literally.
Hey, John.
You missed us talking about the Raiders, man.
We actually
Who's-
said
who's
positive
seen
things
it-
about you
who-
this week.
Yeah, I know. I think Riddler from
Yeah,
Cincinnati University. I think there is the Pittsburgh Penguins. No, the Pittsburgh Panthers.
they are the
Yeah, they are the
Teammate.
Pittsburgh Panthers quarterback,
Sidney Crosby's
which
making a change.
Jordan Palmer's brother. No, Jordan Palmer is raves about on his TikTok. Watch if you're on TikTok, watch Jordan Palmer. Follow me on TikTok. His videos are brilliant. It breaks every play down. It's great. I'll
Who do you think, John?
download some and put them onto the podcast.
Yeah, who do you think, John? Who do you think they'll draft? Moving on to
Philadelphia.
Philly. Yeah.
Game. This was a dull game. There was one interesting catch where it was in between the fullback's knees in the end zone, but that was probably about it, I think. It's Jalen Hurts at times looks like a rabbit stuck in headlights.
Yeah, it hurts to see him like that.
Hey, he's your week, folks. 3 interceptions and 14 completions, or 14 passes and 31 attempts, 129 yards, 3 interceptions. I'll try it that way. He is a poor man's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Very much a running back style quarterback. I mean, I'm probably gonna get shot for this. Philadelphia fans won't like me, but he
Do
is.
Philadelphia fans like anyone now?
Noted. Yeah, I can't see them. I can't see them winning another game. I mean, the next few games is they've got. They might win this weekend. They got New York Jets. Then they got a bye. Washington Giants, Washington, Dallas. They won't win another game. They might win. They might beat the 2 New York teams. They won't beat Washington. They won't beat Dallas.
Yeah.
Personally,
No.
but Dallas have got their own issues at the moment. They seem to be.
But I don't think they're as bad as.
No, I mean,
Really.
no. Giants are flattering deceived at 4-7. I mean, Barkley hasn't really been there. That's a big loss for them.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
is. And the Giants had that big sort of expectations on them. On Barkley.
they can use that excuse now, going, "Oh, we've lost our main
He's
player. We've
injured.
lost
Yeah,
our
yeah.
superstar and all this," which is fair. Yeah, if you lose someone like that, understandable. But
So
NFL's
let's
motto
make it
is-
this season that they can paper over the cracks with this one. Next season, it's going to be.
they're not going to be
Totally
the
different.
07. They're not going to be the 05 Giants because that team was superb. Hate them, superb. OC goes on about how good that team was. They're probably the best team. I can't deny that. They were a brilliant team in 05 and 07 when they won the Super Bowls. It was 09, 07. No, it was
Yes.
05, 07, I think it was. They were superb, absolutely superb teams, and it just says everything. They've got a long way to go to get to that one.
Yeah, definitely.
The
Shall we move on to the
other New York team, but a rarity though. Both New York teams win on the same weekend.
Yeah,
That is a rare. Mind you, they were playing poor teams, so
I mean, this game was the sort of
trash bowl,
yes.
dog dinner bowl, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it wasn't a good game.
But it was that good. Who was it that threw that? I've just literally watched it as well.
Where Wilson threw it to the back of his own running back, shovel pass to the back of his own running back. Is that?
And then he was instantly replaced.
Yeah, I mean, you had follow your running back, shout at your running back, going, "I'm following you, block." You didn't even need to make the pass. You could have scrambled for a good 5-6 yards forward then, instead of throwing it at your back of your wide receiver or running back.
We saw this in London when he was throwing it into his own players, back of their heads.
Yeah, but he makes poor decisions. He does make someone who hasn't played a lot of games at a high level. I mean, we all know BYU isn't a top college, doesn't play the top teams like Alabama, Ohio, and all that lot. So maybe that is playing the hardened defense is working. You could see he's got the talent there. He's got a great arm on him.
Yeah, I
he
mean,
is good at scrambling.
we said this in draft, didn't we? That he's obviously got that ability. He's obviously got that skill. But and we saw it. We did see it in London a little bit, like with little flashes when he got them back into sort of the game a little bit, maybe in competing. But then the next play, he's a completely different guy.
Yeah, I mean, we all saw that throw, which probably guaranteed he went number 2.
Yeah.
Off the ground, on the run, 60 yards easily, straight as well, in the bucket,
Yeah.
It's all fair and well doing those Hollywood-style passes. You've got to get everything else right. And he's
not
getting everything else right at the moment. No. This was a hell of a game down in Indy. Hell of a game in Indy. This was probably to and fro. So, Indianapolis, from winning positions, have lost against Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and I'm trying to remember the other one off the top of my head. I'm trying to find them on the schedule. Are they Tampa, Tennessee, and there was another team. I can't remember the other team I've heard. So they've lost from winning positions 3 times now.
Yeah, and that's why they're not.
When they could have beaten playoff teams.
I think that if they had kept their leads, or kept a bit firm. I mean, I know this is sort of being the Michael Owen of the NFL world, but they would be in the playoffs. They would be.
They're in the run. They're 6-6. So they're there and thereabouts.
They are currently
10th and
6-6.
Yeah. AFC is probably more open than the NFC, but we'll come to that in a bit. Yeah, they are. I mean, they've got probably another running back who's in the hunt for the MVP, if not the Offensive Player of the Year, in Jonathan Taylor. Another game, he didn't go over 100 yards. They didn't start running him to the last quarter, which was really weird. But Leonard Fournette, how good was he? 4 touchdowns, or 3 touchdowns, sorry. One play that really baffled me, though, was 22 something seconds left on the clock, 20 yards to go, and he burst through the line. And he was in open ground. And instead of stopping at the 1 yard line to run the clock down, yes, Indianapolis had a timeout at the time. So they would have burned the timeout, but you could have then taken you could have taken the knee, then you could run the clock down to 2 seconds, taken a timeout. He ran across the goal line for a touchdown. So yes, you're then going to give yourself, possibly a 7-point lead. In this case, it did give them a 7-point lead. You're then relying on your defense to make a stop. You're relying on Carson Wentz not to make a miraculous play. You're relying on the kick returner not returning it. He went 55 yards. He returned it into your own half. I bet those Tampa Bay fans had their hearts in mouths at that time, because I would have been. I was like, I think I even put it on the group chat. Why didn't he go down? It's ridiculous. I mean, it's game management, and it obviously wasn't there.
100%.
Tom Brady would be ripping his new arsehole if they'd have lost that game. He would have been probably, if he was in Tampa, he'd have been benched for the next 3 weeks, not Tampa, New England.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you had 2 timeouts left. Indy only had 1. They would have burnt 1 if you would have stopped on the 1 yard line. You could have then taken a knee, run the clock down to 3 seconds, 2 seconds, taken a timeout, kick the field goal to win the game.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. Just poor decisions, wasn't it?
Yeah. Talk about poor decisions. Carson Wentz, 2 interceptions again. We've seen it twice. He did it against Tennessee. That really weird one where he threw it up in the air for a 2-yard, return from his own end zone. He threw it up in the air, and it turned out to be a 2-yard reception. Pick 6. He has a talent. He escaped from 2 or 3 tackles, and I don't know how he escaped from these tackles. I think he made about 4 yard. I think he made about a 4 yard gain or something like that.
Yeah.
So he has the skills. He has the ball work. He just has lapse of concentration and goes, "Oh look, there's a player there. Oh crap, there's a linebacker there." It's just that concentration we're going. He had it in his back end of his career at Philly. I mean, when they went to the Super Bowl, he was phenomenal that year. I mean, he was really unlucky not to get injured, sorry. So yeah, he has it in him to do those really stupid passes. I mean, he still went for 306 yards. I mean, he threw 3 touchdowns, 27 attempts, or 27 completions, 44 attempts. So he is a talented QB. He's probably, I wouldn't say he's in the top 10, but he's in that next tier. Definitely is that next tier, and that's probably going to anger a few people. But yeah. On to the late games.
Yeah, late night games. Let's start with Chargers versus Denver.
Patrick Surtain is going to be an absolute star at cornerback. Absolute star. They have absolutely found a steal in that conference. I'm a bit shocked that it dropped to him. I mean, I thought he would have gone to Dallas at 10, but he is superb. I mean, a couple of brilliant skills on the ball. I mean, including his 70-yard touchdown return. You know, he is absolutely brilliant. I mean, I don't know what was wrong with LA. They seem to be another team that's very Jekyll and Hyde, which is a bit strange this late in the season when you're having these strange.
Well, the thing is, they're going to be. I mean, you're going to have to hope that you guys stay where you are. Well, if you do stay where they are, Chargers stay where they are, because you're going to be facing them in the playoffs at the moment. If it as it stands, I'll get on to. I'll read out my if the playoffs started today later on. I love that because it's a very interesting one this week.
It is a very
yes. I am. It's got my. It's definitely got my attention. I'll explain why in a minute. The LA teams didn't have much success this weekend.
No, they didn't get their running. I mean, Chargers didn't get their running going. So Eckler had 12 attempts or 12 carries for 31 yards. Herbert went 36 yards, but he threw 2 interceptions as well. This guy, he's in his second season now. Still making a bit of silly errors. He's still in the game. He does look like he could be a Josh Allen. He is big. Yeah. He is strong. He is a good runner. He is difficult to bring around. He is going to be a very, very good quarterback. In the right situation. There's still a lot of puzzle pieces to be put in that LA team.
Yeah, and I think
he relies a lot on Williams, Allen, and Eckler. But he threw to a lot of people. I mean, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different targets he threw to. Most of them was at Allen and Eckler and Williams. They went for 26. The rest totaled 12. At a quick mass, 15. It is what you do. Your quarterbacks do have your favorite target. You have your security blanket. Eckler in this case. He's got 3: Allers, Williams, and Eckler. Tennessee had Henry. So there is all these things. But a lot of quarterbacks, Brady would go to so many different targets. Breeze used to do it. Rivers did it. Rodgers does it. Your favorite quarterback does it.
He's not got a poly toe.
Doesn't need surgery. So yeah, they just need to spray the ball around. He just needs to spray the ball around, do something, because Allen and Eckler and Williams, if they come out the backfield in Eckler's case, or if they turn the routes, they're always going to be double coveraged. So you need to open up the playbook using other players. That's not what they're quite doing that yet. But Broncos have a very good running back. I do like the running back, Javonte Williams, 54 yards and a TD. And he was out the background, 57 yards as well. they drafted well. They picked up a couple of really quality players. You know, they've got
Broncos started off well. Started the season well. Obviously, a lot was made about who they played against. And then they sort of went a bit sort of off.
Yeah. Off the boil. Very much off the boil.
So they can still make the playoffs, very much so. They are still in that playoff hunt.
They are in that playoff hunt.
Like you said, the AFC is wide open.
Oh, yes.
To an extent.
Shall we go to the other LA who've got
yes.
put all of their money, and I emphasize on all the L's because the last 3 games they've lost 3 on the bounce now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you put all your eggs in one basket and you get it with duds. You know, they've got no draft, 2 draft picks for next season?
Yes.
They've got Von Miller, they brought in Von Miller, they brought in, you know, they've put in literally all their eggs in one basket and they're losing. Not good at all. I mean, they look shocking.
But, you know, we know that they can play. We've seen it. We've seen it until 3 weeks ago.
They were 7-1. They were 7-1.
Yeah.
And I'm going to add this here. Out of the 3 of us, I was the only one who went for Green Bay.
You were. I mean, I can't ever go for Green Bay.
Yeah, but
to me,
this is where you got to get your heart rolling over your head.
I know.
You know, Odell Beckham and Von Miller were slotted in more and they look good. Cooper Kupp's reception for the 2 points, literally, I don't know how he got that down. 2-point, 2-toe drag and all that.
Is Odell's father going to be on the...
I don't see why he should. I mean, he had a few receptions. I mean, it's not like it's his first full season. He's only his 2nd game. He had 10 targets. He caught in 5 of them, and he even scored a TD as well. He went for 81 yards. So he's getting more and more involved in the playbook. He's been there, a week and a half now? 2.5 weeks? Yeah, because they've had their bye, haven't they?
2.5, yeah.
So him and Von Miller are more in the playbook now. They played a lot more snaps. They just need to put it all together now. They've got too many cooks in that now. Far too many cooks.
They need to sort of either get moving as a team or...
Well done, John. Well done, John. You let your heart, your brain, your head roll over your heart on that one, yeah, mate? He went for Green Bay as well. For when we upload this onto the Spotify and all that later on, John also went for Green Bay.
Yeah, it's...
I'll tell you what, though. I can't see anyone beating Green Bay to the NFC Championship. They are probably the best team in the NFC at the moment. I mean, they're number 2 in the seed at the moment. They look better than Cardinals. They look better than the Buccaneers. And the rest are nowhere near. And that includes... I mean, you two are getting better. But I think Green Bay are just a complete package. And they haven't even got their 2 main defenders there. Alexander's out and the linebacker's out. And they're still stopping teams. So, yeah, I'd be wide if I'm going to play Green Bay. If I'm playing Green Bay, I would be really wide. Well done, John. All 5 predictions. Good lad. I had 4. I think, Tom, you had 3. Me and Ollie both had 4.
I think that was one of my worst weeks, isn't it? That's the first time in a while that I finished bottom.
Everyone's come back into it now. I'm only 1 behind you, and Ollie's now in the lead. He's on 23.
He's never going to shut up if we don't win.
Right. That's very true.
Shall we have a word from our co-host on this?
Yeah, let's have a chat from Ollie.
I am going to hand you over to Mr. Obix. I hope this bloody works.
All the way live from San Francisco. Not.
Yeah.
Pre-recorded from San Francisco.
Here is one we made earlier. 1 second.
Famous last words.
I'll put pressure on myself now. Right,
you know when you get the,
One
you know when you
second.
got that dead sound in the
Share screen window. That one. Hello, Ollie.
I don't want to see that image again.
1 second.
I hope you guys have a good podcast without me, and I will be back on Thursday.
Is that all
Um,
we've
we've
got?
we've got
There was
4.
one a couple of reviews games, isn't there? So
So yeah, like I said,
1 second. We've got 3 more videos from him of him
there is
speaking.
one about from his player of the week, so you can wait for that till Thursday with the rest of us.
Is there?
Yeah, I think there is.
so yeah, like I said, close game. Niners, I think, deserved to win. Elijah Mitchell played well. Deebo Samuel was playing like Deebo Samuel, but it's worth looking out for the injuries of Fred Warner, Darwin Cook, and Deebo Samuel, who are all having MIs on tomorrow.
I'll come up on cut in a minute.
I didn't realize Debo come out because I was going to say Debo's probably, I would say, a very good outside bet for possibly offensive player of the year. He has been superb this season.
Yeah.
I think he's
There's
leading.
one more video from Ollie.
Go on then.
I think about the fact I don't know if there's any more, but yeah, I'll see.
Yeah, so Dalvin Cook's out for 2 weeks, isn't he? With so he
Yeah.
dislocated his shoulder and had a torn pectoral or something like that.
Ollie, what more have you got to say?
The interception and the forced fumble. Jimmy made some accurate passes and also missed some fairly easy throws, as did Cousins. But yeah, I thought the Niners played well and were probably deserved winners, but it was a close game.
It looked a very good game.
I agree with my co-host on this one. My God, can somebody teach our offensive and defensive coordinators? No, not even them. Can somebody teach me, Mike Zimmer, how to do clock management, please? Please.
Oh,
It's getting ridiculous now. It's getting absolutely ridiculous.
It wouldn't be a podcast without the Zimmer out podcast, the banner up.
A timeout in the first quarter. And
sometimes that happens. I mean,
no, but he didn't need to. He really didn't need to.
I didn't see it. Obviously, I didn't see this, but sometimes timeouts need to be called because you might see a play that's different that you don't like, set up wrongly, the defense is set up not how you're expecting. So yeah, I don't mind them calling. Don't care when they call timeouts. I'd rather than call a timeout, they get a pick six and run in for a TD.
Yeah,
So I don't mind when they call timeouts. It's when they try and call a timeout after timeout. That's an issue. Who did I see it? Someone else did it this weekend as well. Someone else tried to do it this weekend as well.
Yeah, I can't remember who. But it's so frustrating. Zimmer is, you know what? JC said it. No, OC, J-Bar, not J-Bar. OC said it in the the NFL show.
Monday night, Saturday night show.
He said that Vikings could be the best team in the NFC.
Yes, I saw that.
And you know what? I agree with him. The important word there, and this is from me.
Could be.
Could be.
It's 2 words, by the way.
We have
just being pedantic.
We have such a good team. I mean, maybe
we have said you've got the best 1-2 punch at wide receiver.
We do. We have a good quarterback. He's having a good year at last.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Dalvin Cook, one of the top 5 running backs in the league. We've got 2 very good tight ends. We've got very good defenders. I mean, did the stuff with Griffin play an effect on the team's mind? You know, we had I mean, I am so. I didn't get a chance to say this on the podcast on Tuesday. I meant to send a message to you all to say it, but
Yeah.
that was scary. You
I
know,
haven't-
and you
I
could
haven't seen
see.
Oh, the gun. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll talk about that on Thursday because
Yeah, you could see in Rick's face that he was terrified. But
Yeah.
you know, has that played an effect on Sunday's game? Maybe.
Possibly. I mean, we'll cover that up more on Thursday. I mean, hopefully it's all been sorted.
I mean, it passed without incident, which was good. We're just not fully there yet, if I'm honest with you.
Nope. Yeah. Shall we go on to Cleveland? And
yes,
my Super Bowl favorites have capitulated. Absolutely, just gone to pot. Is it the injuries? Is it the Odell Beckham story? Is it Baker Mayfield not being fully fit? But from a team that was probably one of the strongest teams in the NFL last year to a team that's now 6-6, who are playing really poorly. I mean, Kareem Hunt's dad's starting to say something now, and I don't know what it is. I just saw something tweeted earlier. I mean, Baltimore didn't even play that well. From what I've seen, Baltimore did not play that well, and yet they still managed to win. I mean, that's scary. I had high hopes that Cleveland went on a win, so New England were getting a 1 seed.
So you could actually get your picks into the.
I'm going to get my finger. I'm going to get the big finger when we're number one in, like, you know, the big foam finger that's in the boys' bedroom at the moment. But I think we need to hit the VT of Mr. Mark Andrews.
I will do that now.
Stupidly good catch, because that was ridiculously catched.
It was
very good catch. Another video stolen off TikTok, so I apologise for the quality.
He releases as Jackson points.
Look at this.
Andrews got free. Lamar couldn't get it to him, but he caught it anyway.
Because he has the kind of confidence in his playmakers.
That's ridiculous. I mean, the defender was all over his back as well.
Yeah.
He still managed to hold it. The modern day tight ends are ridiculous. These catches these tight ends are making now, and these runnings they're making. I mean, tight ends used to be just part of an O-line. Just bash people out of the way and just to let the running back go in. I mean, this league is coming to more of a throwing league. It is less of a running league now. But that catch was ridiculous. I mean, we've mentioned already how good the Titans are in this league. I think he's got to be one of the best ones out there at the moment, especially this season. He is superb. And Baltimore roll on again. Like I said, they weren't even playing that well. They haven't played well the last couple of weeks. Yes, they got turned over by Miami last week. But yeah, that just shows how bad. I mean, Cleveland is struggling. Beckham. Baker Mayfield got benched.
Yeah. But maybe that's what he needed.
No, I think what he needed, because he's carrying this injury in his left shoulder. Yes, his ego is a bit too big.
And his ego has been always big. I mean, everyone said that. I mean, it pisses OC off. No end.
He has the talent.
He does,
undoubtedly. But his attitude reeks.
Yeah.
And it's now starting to affect his football. And it probably was him that forced Odell out.
Yeah. There's only one space. There's only room for one ego in that John locker room.
Just imagine if he had the likes of Belichick as his head coach. He wouldn't stand.
We'd see Baker Mayfield. We'd see the player.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's an Alabama project. We know how good Alabama quarterbacks are.
Yeah.
So he has the talent. He has the arm. He's just got the ego to go with it. And look what egos are never good in the NFL.
We're going to see who. We're going to see. I mean, I think next year is going to be huge for some big players in that conference. There are two QBs who, in my mind, need, and I'm not. Well, they just need to, and they need to pick it up. They need to sort of say, you know what, this is my league. There's one person in particular, and that's Mr. Patrick Mahomes. They all need to. Those two quarterbacks, in my mind, have to step up next season.
Before we go on to the playoffs or to the playoff picture, tonight's game,
Yes,
Seattle against Washington. I cannot see Seattle winning this game.
No, I can see Washington absolutely.
Seattle haven't been the same since Russ's injury. He might have
No.
come back a bit too early.
Yeah,
Heineke has been superb for the last couple of weeks.
he has, and he might actually. I don't know. He's going to have a good. He's had a good year. He's gonna.
I mean, Ollie said he's not a franchise quarterback. He is a very good bridge quarterback, and he will be a good quarterback.
Yes.
Backup quarterback for a few years.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
Yeah, he is a good quarterback. I do see Washington winning. I think Washington by a score.
Yeah.
Definitely by a score.
So can I read out my if the playoffs started today, please?
Go for it.
In the AFC, we will start wide open. If it started today, we would have Ravens getting a first round bye.
They would be, yeah.
We would have the 7th seed Chargers visiting Mr. OBH's Patriots. We would have the Bills at the Titans, which I think would be a superb game.
It would be a brilliant game. It would be a rematch of Bills Titans. When do they play each other? Week 9? Something like that?
Yes. And then we would have finally bringing up the end, the 5th pick versus the 4th seed. Bengals, Joe Burrow's first trip to the playoffs, potentially.
Against perennial Mr. Mahomes. Yeah, that would be a very good game. I mean, the Chiefs,
it would be interesting.
have found their mojo. They have found their groove. They are playing absolutely superb at the moment. I mean, they're still not the Chiefs of 2 or 3 seasons ago.
Can I be controversial?
Go on, then.
I'm going to say Bengals win that one.
I could see it, actually.
I just feel that
I could see that one.
Chiefs going out early.
There's a no ahead. They should be in bed.
I know.
You can't hear. I've got my earphones in, mate. You can't hear you.
And then this is where I get really, really excited because I think the Super Bowl champions are within this.
Yeah, but you've got to go to Green Bay.
We've got the Cardinals on a 9-2 record. Let that sink in a minute. 9-2. We then have Minnesota Vikings going to the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. How amazing
in the snow!
In the snow, if we went there and beat them.
Oh, like I said, I don't. Yes, you've got the best 1-2 punch in the league in Jefferson and Thielen,
and they didn't know how to deal with us.
I don't think they'll learn. The things with this NFL, you learn. You know, they spend most of Monday and most of Tuesday
watching tape.
If you're watching tape, learning where things are. They would have watched that game against you. They will watch that game against you, and I guarantee you it'll be a completely different game. Completely different game.
Yeah, I think it's still a good game. Then we have Ollie's Niners visiting Tom Brady's Bucks.
That'd be a good game.
And then we've got the Rams at the Cowboys, which again, that is a loaded playoffs already. And then
I can't see the NFC changing much.
No, I can't. I think that's.
I mean, Falcons are 5 and something.
Yeah.
5 and 7. Saints are 5 and 6. You know, Eagles and Panthers are shocking. I sink this in. The last 10 starts for Carolina that Cam Newton has had has been 0 and 10.
Yeah.
Let that sink in. How bad is that? You know. You can see why New England went with Mac now.
Yeah.
The AFC is wide open, I think.
It is.
AFC East. The AFC East is between two. New England and Buffalo. I think Ravens are secured. I think Titans are secured. I think Chiefs are secured.
Yeah. Let's see who's in the hunt, though.
You've got in the hunt. You've
Vegas.
got Broncos, Raiders, Colts, Browns, Steelers, Dolphins. Dolphins won't finish 13th. They'll be above Raiders, Browns, and
Yeah.
Steelers.
Who do you think gets that?
Broncos.
Who do you think gets that spot? Those spots.
I wouldn't be surprised if it stays as it is. I think Dolphins could pip Chargers. Chargers end with Bengals, New York Giants, Kansas, Texans, Broncos, Raiders. Miami's end is New York, because it literally is New York, New Orleans, Tennessee, New England.
And live from America,
Hey!
Mr. Ollie Hope.
But is it either very cold or you're doing the wise thing and wearing a mask?
Yeah, because we have to on Alcatraz.
Oh, you're in Alcatraz.
You know,
Yeah, I'm literally on Alcatraz
You're going
right
to get
now.
locked up. Who's that in your over your left shoulder?
That's
wearing
my
a
mate.
Viking.
So I went-
Hey,
I
oh,
came with yesterday.
hi there. We've got special guest, my son, who's a Chiefs fan. Hang on. Wrong one.
Oh, Noah's made an appearance, has he?
Go on then. Put it in. You going to put it in? No, he's gone all shy now. No, you can go away, Finn. You're not getting involved. Oh, come here, Finn. Stand there and behave.
There's Wi-Fi on Alcatraz, so I thought I'd jump on.
Fair enough. Oh, he's run away now.
Nice.
Oh. So, do you think you're going to stay in number 6?
I'll answer that after next week.
Who have you got next week? Seattle.
Seahawks.
At Seattle. Who do you think is going to win tonight then? Washington or Seattle?
I think Seattle, but I want Washington.
We've both gone Washington.
Noah's gone Washington as well. He's just said Washington over his shoulder.
I hope Washington.
I've gone for Washington as well. If I'd gone for Washington, I'd have got 13 out.
Jack's saying Washington.
Makes sense.
What does Jack think about the potential of a Vikes versus Packers at
Lambeau on
in
the
playoffs?
wild card weekend.
Well, I'd want us to win, but after yesterday's display, we don't have
Yeah.
hopes.
You didn't play that badly yesterday.
Yeah, but we have no team now. They're all injured.
Yeah, Delvin Cook's out for 2 weeks minimum with a dislocated shoulder.
And Conklin's out for the season, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
I saw something on the NFL app earlier.
Fair enough.
But yeah. How did you find yesterday then?
It was very good.
We've had your input on.
Yeah, we've put your videos up.
Yeah. I do need to go because my phone's literally about to die.
Fair enough, man. Good to
But
see
I
you.
thought
We're
I'd
about to
jump
wrap
on
it
and
up
say
anyway,
hi.
mate.
Enjoy,
Okay.
mate. Bye, guys.
I'll be back properly on Thursday.
See you Thursday, mate.
Yeah.
Bye.
No, go away. Jumping around in the background. Oh, that was a nice surprise.
It was.
I think I need to take a couple of kids to bed. So they were meant to be asleep ages ago. That's all right. They're going to be tired. They're back at their mums tomorrow, so it's fine. Why are you dancing like Doctor Strange with his bloody weird handy thing? Tom, it's been a pleasure to have you back on the
It has
podcast,
been a
mate.
pleasure to be here.
It's been a long 8 weeks.
I am looking forward to being the host of the most again.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
No, man, it's good to have you. It's good to have you back, dude. It really is. Again, thank you all for listening, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and Noah. We will see you on Thursday, all, and stay safe.